I'm Yonika Infotainment and welcome to the brand new episode of the Startup Show, which is a presentation of Aacsm Tbi Foundation, that is an Atal Incubation Center, Sikkim University Technology Business Incubation Foundation, located at Majitania by Rampur. र सधैँभरि आज पनि यो स्पेशल एपिसोडमा हामीसँग एउटा स्टार्टअपको फाउन्डर हुनुहुन्छ जसले सायद आफ्नो एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिपको द्वारा सिक्किममा मात्र नभएर इनफ्याक्ट द एन्टायर कन्ट्रीमा इम्प्याक्ट अथवा उहाँले आफ्नो भेन्चरद्वारा थुप्रै एन्टरप्रेन्योर्स अथवा द एस्पायरिङ एन्टरप्रेन्योर्सलाई इन्स्पायर र मोटिभेट गर्ने काम गरिरहनु भएको छ। सो लेडिज एन्ड जेन्टलमेन, आज जो स्टार्टअप हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ इनफ्याक्ट द स्टार्टअप फाउन्डरको नाम रहेको छ DK घटानी र उहाँको स्टार्टअपको नाम रहेको छ अमेजिङ एडभेन्चर, जुन चाहिँ यो टुरिज्म बेस्ड स्टार्टअप रहेको छ। इनफ्याक्ट सिक्किम बेस्ड स्टार्टअप हो र त्यसै क्रममा उहाँ पनि इनफ्याक्ट उहाँको स्टार्टअप जुन चाहिँ अमेजिङ एडभेन्चर रहेको छ त्यो AICSMU TBI फाउन्डेसनको अन्डरमा इन्क्युबेट भएको छ। सो लेडिज एन्ड जेन्टलमेन, आज उहाँसँग हामी कन्भर्सेसन गर्नेछौँ र उहाँको भेन्चरको बारेमा अथवा उहाँको गोल्स, एस्पिरेसन्स एन्ड अल्सो विल टक अबाउट द रेभेन्यू बेस्ड मोडल आउट अफ स्टार्टअप। सो लेडिज एन्ड जेन्टलमेन, प्रेजेन्टिङ टु यू Mr. DK Ghatani, the founder of the startup Amazing Adventures. So, Mr. DK, first of all, welcome to the Startup Show.
Thank you so much.
So, as we have been having a conversation with a lot of startups under this show, and the startups which has been actually covered are amazing, and your startup is no less that. So, let's talk about your startup, the Amazing Adventure. So, what is it all about, and who all are the founders? So, how did you start it? Let's talk about the process.
So, Amazing Adventure is a tourism adventure-based travel company. So, before forming this company, I used to be a guide for more than 13 years. So, directly with the clients, So, on that particular period, I got chance to, learn the knocks and corners of the business as well as the shortcomings of the business. So, after I, collecting the knowledge, so I decided to form the company called Amazing Adventure. Amazing Adventure name itself is a, so whenever the people come for holiday, they want to, experience as amazing. So, because of that reason, I formed the company name Amazing Adventure, give the amazing service.
Which year did you found?
I found it in 2019, 19th of November 2019.
So, you said that you have been into tourism for the past almost 13 years.
13 years.
13 years, like you were literally actually, organizing or actually like curating the entire trek or the hike or the different
hikes, and as well as I particularly I myself taking them to the mountains and different parts of the places.
So how come like you were working individually, right?
Right.
But like when did you think about like starting up a company or a startup?
No, when as I told you, I used to be a guide. That time I find, there are many shortcomings there in Sikkim tourism. As maybe you know that Mount Kanchenjunga, which is third world highest mountain in Sikkim, is still having a third world highest mountain. Still there are, as compared to Nepal and other part of country, Sikkim still we have very less tourists. So I am very curious, and I am thinking all the way, when I used to be a guide, to form the company and give them a different kind of experience.
So you are telling that still there were a lot of loopholes when it comes to promoting tourism.
Right.
So you are trying to basically put forward that you are here to promote tourism and do good things through your startup.
Right.
So you know the problem now, and you're coming up with a solution. Okay. So now it's only you in the startup, or you have other co-founders as well?
No, I have first of all things, in Sikkim, when I'm thinking to form the company, and I come to know that there is no, Companies Act.
All right.
So, and I registered my company from Siliguri. So that time I find that we need to have a two director.
All right.
So I am one director, and my another director is Florence Lepcha.
Yeah, we have a company flaw in the Companies Act, that's
Right.
which the policymakers might be working on that, but despite the fact, you have a company right now registered in Siliguri and then you're doing wonders.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about like since you started just in 2019 and today it's 2022. So how has been the journey after getting into the startup?
So, as all the world know that, after as soon as I formed the company and the pandemics come, from
Yeah.
2020, so it's been a difficult journey. And I just wanted to tell you one thing, especially entrepreneur born with ideas, not with the money. So on that particular journey, I find very difficult with the financial also, So I request through you also that if our Sikkim government also make the policy like that for the entrepreneur, to support them not only with the these things, but the financial also, it really helps to grow up our future entrepreneur.
Yeah, 2019 you started, and then in few years there was a hit of the COVID pandemic and all. I know, and the tourism has suffered a lot, and I guess you have been one of the victims.
Yeah,
But
I'm
apart from the challenges and circumstances, and apart from the COVID hit you so hard, so how have you survived and how have you sustained so far?
Yeah, so
What is the mantra as an entrepreneur?
as an entrepreneur, we have to, because when anybody can start their journey as an entrepreneur, means we have our aim and dream, which wanted to fulfill, So on that makes us strong, Every day we have to make plan for that, and so like that.
So you have taken a risk and you have
Correct, yeah.
survived. So congratulations for that. So since you started by 2019 with a startup, and then you are a bootstrap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So you are a bootstrap, and then you don't have any like financial support from anyone as so far. But are you really looking for one?
Yeah, as I already told you also, to taking the entrepreneurship journey further, So we have idea as a founder. We have idea, and we wanted to do our venture ahead. But as well as that, funding is one of the most important thing. So, yeah, I'm looking for fund also.
Okay. But when it comes to funds and the investors will definitely only would want to put their money in the startups which have their unique selling points, USP you say it, or something which is extra or maybe a very innovative. And what is the USP for your startup? Like, what makes you different from the other tourism-based startups?
Like my startups is basically, as I told you, I'm basically organizing hikes and expedition, which is still lag behind in Sikkim. So I'm promoting on especially that. My main focus is tracking and expeditions.
So that is your USP.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So how has it been so far? Are people really coming up to you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
they wanted to explore our mountain because mountain is really, our mountain is still, I can say that, unexplored things. Still, we need to explore our Sikkim, So yeah, people wanted to come to our
so
place.
with how many direct clients, the customer that you worked so far?
So far, I have more than 50 clients because as soon as I started my company, then lockdown is happening. So just this year only, so it's open now. Again, yeah, the people are wanted to coming and they are interested.
So means how do you reach out to the people? That's something which I really wanted to know, because not many people have the idea about that. This high expedition that you're talking about that happens in the state of Sikkim, and you have a startup. So how are you letting people know about your startup? How do you reach out to them?
Yeah.
Or
First of all thing, as I told you, I used to be a guide for more than 12, 13 years. So after I forming the company, I started to contacting with them. So first of all, I am doing referral. And second thing, I'm working on B2B sector also, because we have to survive, we have to work for the B2B. And I have my company website and everything. So I'm promoting from social media and referral and all the things.
okay, I don't want you to reveal the entire structure of your startup, because that's something which is has to be the trade secret. But like you said, you are working with B2C and B2B as well. So when it comes to B2B, B2C is direct. They can reach out through your website. Maybe you have a network and all. But B2B, how do you work with them? Because how do you work with the other
Like as a
businesses?
startup, so I'm just reach out, I'm just, try to type with them or just try to sign with the MOE with the big companies which
Okay.
is just there. So it helps. So that is the way I'm just trying to do my business so far.
Okay, so we won't be making this conversation long, because the basic idea about this podcast is to actually introduce your startup to the public, and you have been incubated on the Aacsm Tbi Foundation. So like, how do you see now, when it comes to tourism, despite COVID and all, but still the tourism is one of the biggest and the booming industry. So where do you see amazing adventures in the next 5 years? Or as a founder, where do you see yourself and your startup?
So my aim is to one day, I want to see all over the India definitely first. Then slowly I want to reach out to the global level. So one day, I'm not telling you about the 5 years exactly, but one day surely I will reach. That's
so, okay, but when it comes to a startup, apart of course to have that the dream and aspirations to see your startup doing good in days to come, that's something which is every startup talk about. But when it comes to learning, because when you do a startup, there has to be the technical learning about how to run a business, and there should be a lot of things that go behind running a startup. And you have been a part of Aacsm Tbi Foundation. So how has been the learning through them? How has this supported you?
So I can say that Aacsm Tbi is the one place, after the founder, they are the center who think about your journey, your venture. They are always worried. They try to connect with you, the people, mentor. And I can highly recommend this institute for the, first of all, the Sikkim entrepreneur, those who want to become entrepreneur, not only Sikkim, for the Northeast Pass. I can say that this is the best incubation center.
So now, means how have you been like, because I'm sure you went under a lot of programs on the Aacsm Tbi. So have you been pitching so far in front of the investors?
Yes, I do. I already pitched 2 to 3 times. So that was my learning things, Still I need to learn, because as I told you that in Sikkim, first of all things, we don't have company tax. So because of that, we are really lacking behind. So after I joined Aacsm Tbi, I got chance to learn so many things. So still I need to learn, because I already pitching 4 or 5 times with the investors. So still I'm learning, it's a good experience for me.
Absolutely. So I've seen people, putting up their pitch deck for almost 100 times. They're pitching in front of the investors. So still the process is on. So congratulations for whatever you've been doing so far. So this is the last question on because I really wanted to know about it, because you are from Sikkim. It's a Sikkim-based tourism startup. You want to explore and expand now gradually. And you have been into the industry for almost 13 years now, from a guide, then coming to an idea to open up a startup, amazing adventures, a startup. So why entrepreneurship? You could have really got into any other public sector jobs. So why did you think about exploring entrepreneurship?
When after I finishing my graduation, and I came to as a guide. So from that time only, I wanted to do something, which I don't want to relay with the government or other service sector. So I wanted to generate employment at least. So I don't want to depend on others. I want to be a freedom. So I wanted to make myself as a one kind of, what you say that I wanted to do something for my life. So that is the.
So how many direct or indirect opportunities you have been creating so far? How many people do you work with totally?
Directly at my office, we are right now as a startup. We are only five people. So indirectly, that in tourism, I'm generating revenue for the state as well, for the GDP as well.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds really good. So anyways, DK, congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
And we just believe that you will do great things in great way. And I hope the COVID does not hit anyone hard, and your startup will do wonders. Thank you so much, DK.
Thank you, Yogin. Thank you.
Anyways, so this is the end of the conversation. So this is an episode where we featured Mr. DK Ghatani, who is the founder of the startup Amazing Adventures, which is a tourism-based startup. His vision is to actually not just be in the state of Sikkim and boom the tourism industry, but also to expand and explore the tourism in the other areas of the world or the globe. So anyways, so it's the exclusive conversation episode hami liera avashay aune chhau, because this is a startup show which is a proud presentation of Aacsm Tbi Foundation, that is an Atal Incubation Center, Sikkim Manipal University, Technology Business Incubation Foundation, and this show has been powered by Sikkim Chronicle. So arko episode hami liera avashay aune chhau, त्यति बेलासम्मको निम्ति Sikkim Chronicle अन्य न्यूज इन्फर्मेसन रिपोर्ट्स र एनालाइसिसको निम्ति फलो गर्दै गर्नुहोला. Thank you so much.